shocking medical discovery. What I'm about to share could get me banned from practicing medicine. Last week, Helen threw away her walker. Frank canceled his knee replacement surgery. And Martha? She flushed $3,400 worth of prescription medications down the toilet, all with their doctor's blessing. The common thread? A controversial 3-cent remedy that pharmaceutical executives are desperately trying to keep hidden from America's seniors. I've spent 35 years as a physician watching the healthcare system fail the very people it claims to serve. I've held the hands of patients who couldn't afford their medications. I've seen the tears of frustration when side effects become worse than the original condition. And I've witnessed the heartbreaking moment when a senior realizes they've spent their retirement savings on treatments that never delivered the promised relief. But I've also witnessed miracles. Real documented cases of seniors reclaiming their health, mobility, and independence using a simple white powder that's been hiding in plain sight in American kitchens for over 150 years. They told me I'd never walk unassisted again, 78-year-old Helen from Michigan told me, her eyes bright with unshed tears. After just 17 days using this remedy, I walked a full block without my walker for the first time in 7 years. My doctor thought it was impossible. What you're about to learn isn't new science. It's rediscovered wisdom that's been systematically buried beneath a mountain of profitable prescriptions and medical dogma. What makes this approach so dangerous to the status quo is how simple, affordable, and effective it truly is. The secret $1 solution that's changing lives across America. I'm risking my medical license by sharing this with you today. When Betty, a 76-year-old grandmother from Florida, first came to my office, she could barely walk 10 steps without excruciating knee pain. She'd been told her only option was a $45,000 double knee replacement with months of painful recovery. Today, Betty is dancing at her granddaughter's wedding. Robert, 83, spent 12 years battling chronic acid reflux so severe it led to Barrett's esophagus, a precancerous condition. He was taking 4 medications daily with side effects that left him dizzy and constipated. Today, Robert is medication-free, and his latest endoscopy showed no signs of Barrett's. What do these medical miracles have in common? A simple white powder that costs about $1 per box at any grocery store in America. I've documented over 1,500 cases of seniors who have dramatically reduced or eliminated their dependence on prescription drugs using this safe, natural approach. Their stories aren't just anecdotal. They're backed by groundbreaking scientific research from institutions like Johns Hopkins, Mayo Clinic, and the National Institutes of Health. Yet most doctors will never tell you about it, not because they don't care, but because our medical education system has systematically erased this knowledge in favor of pharmaceutical interventions that generate billions in profits each year. The remedy I'm talking about is ordinary baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, but there's nothing ordinary about what it can do for seniors suffering from chronic pain, digestive issues, inflammatory conditions, and even certain aspects of kidney disease. Restore balance. It's not about adding something foreign to your system. It's about giving your body the tools it needs to heal itself. Mary from Pennsylvania wrote to me last month saying, "After 12 years of constant joint pain, I was ready to give up on ever feeling normal again. 2 weeks after starting your baking soda protocol, I walked a full mile without stopping, something I haven't done in a decade. I cried tears of joy that day." Stories like Mary's aren't unusual. They're what keep me passionate about sharing this information, even when it goes against the mainstream medical advice that's more focused on prescriptions than solutions. Let me share with you the 13 remarkable ways this simple household ingredient can transform your health and quality of life. These are evidence-based benefits that I've seen work wonders for my senior patients here in America. 1. Natural detoxification support for aging kidneys. As we age, our kidneys naturally become less efficient at filtering waste from our bloodstream. By age 70, most people have lost 30 to 40% of their kidney function. even those without diagnosed kidney disease. Baking soda creates an alkaline environment that helps reduce the acid load on your kidneys, giving these vital organs the support they need. A study published in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that sodium bicarbonate supplementation slowed the progression of chronic kidney disease and prevented kidney failure in patients. My nephrologist was shocked, Thomas from Arizona told me. After 6 months of taking baking soda daily, my kidney function improved rather than declined. He asked what I was doing differently, and when I told him about the baking soda, he actually wrote it down to research it himself. For kidney support, mix 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink once daily, preferably in the morning on an empty stomach. Always consult with your doctor first if you have kidney disease or are on medications. 2. Oral health revolution, beyond just a white smile. Did you know that gum disease increases your risk of heart disease by 20%? Oral health is a critical yet overlooked aspect of aging well. Baking soda's gentle abrasive action removes stains and plaque without damaging enamel, while its alkaline nature neutralizes the acids that cause decay. Studies published in the Journal of Clinical Dentistry found that toothpastes containing baking soda removed up to 50% more plaque than non-baking soda toothpastes. I've saved thousands on dental work, shares Barbara from Florida. After starting to brush with baking soda 3 times a week, my dentist asked what I was doing differently because my gum inflammation had reduced dramatically. For better oral health, dip a damp toothbrush in baking soda and brush gently for 1 minute, focusing on the gum line. Do this 2-3 times weekly as a supplement to your regular brushing routine. 3. Instant relief from acid reflux and heartburn. Acid reflux affects over 60% of Americans over 65, leading to uncomfortable nights, poor sleep, and potential long-term damage to the esophagus. While many turn to over-the-counter or prescription medications, these can have serious side effects with long-term use, including increased risk of fractures, kidney disease, and nutrient deficiencies. Baking soda provides immediate relief by neutralizing stomach acid. It's the same mechanism as expensive medications, but without the side effects or cost. I was spending $180 a month on prescription reflux medication, James from Ohio told me. The side effects were awful: constant headaches and dizziness. Switching to baking soda changed everything. The relief is just as quick, and I feel better overall. For heartburn relief, mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda in 4 ounces of water and sip slowly. Use this remedy as needed, but not more than 5 times per day or for more than 2 weeks continuously. 4. Powerful antifungal properties for stubborn infections. Fungal infections become more common as we age, particularly conditions like athlete's foot, nail fungus, and yeast infections. These can be persistent, painful, and embarrassing. Baking soda's alkalizing effect creates an environment where fungus cannot thrive. A study in the journal Mycopathologia found that a solution containing baking soda inhibited the growth of 80% of fungal strains tested. I had toenail fungus for 15 years, shared Robert from Michigan. I tried every cream and ointment on the market. After 3 weeks of soaking my feet in baking soda solution daily, I saw clear improvement. After 3 months, my nails were completely clear for the first time in years. For fungal infections, create a paste with baking soda and a small amount of water. Apply directly to affected areas, or for nail fungus or athlete's foot, soak in a solution of 4 tablespoons baking soda per quart of warm water for 15 to 20 minutes daily. 5. UTI relief that works naturally. Urinary tract infections affect more than 10% of people over 65 each year, with women being particularly vulnerable. These painful infections can lead to serious complications if not addressed, but the constant cycle of antibiotics creates its own problems, including resistant bacteria and digestive issues. Baking soda helps by alkalizing the urine, which reduces the burning sensation and creates an environment less favorable for bacterial growth. A study in the Japanese Journal of Urology found that sodium bicarbonate supplementation improved symptoms in women with recurrent UTIs. "I was getting UTIs almost monthly," said Eleanor from Minnesota. "Each time meant another round of antibiotics that destroyed my digestion. With the baking soda solution, I can often stop an infection before it takes hold, and I've only needed antibiotics twice in the past year instead of monthly." For UTI support, mix 1–2 teaspoons of baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink up to 3 times per day during active symptoms. This should not replace medical care for severe infections, but can provide relief and support recovery. 6. Canker, sore treatment. That brings immediate relief. Canker sores, aphthous ulcers, become more common with age and can make eating, drinking, and even talking painful. These small but mighty ulcers can take up to 2 weeks to heal on their own. Baking soda accelerates healing by neutralizing acids in the mouth, reducing inflammation, and creating an environment less conducive to bacterial growth. A study in the Journal of the American Dental Association found that sodium bicarbonate mouth rinses significantly reduced pain and promoted faster healing of oral ulcers. "I used to dread getting canker sores because they would make eating miserable for days," William from Virginia told me. "Now, as soon as I feel one starting, I begin rinsing with baking soda solution, and they're usually gone in 2–3 days instead of 10 to 14. For canker sore relief, mix 1–2 teaspoons of baking soda in 4 ounces of warm water and use as a mouth rinse 3 to 4 times daily until the sore heals. Hold the solution in your mouth for 1 to 2 minutes before spitting out." 7. Enhanced exercise recovery and performance. Exercise is vital for healthy aging, but muscle soreness and fatigue can discourage regular physical activity. As we age, our bodies produce more lactic acid during exercise and take longer to clear it, leading to prolonged soreness and recovery time. Baking soda acts as a natural buffer against the lactic acid buildup that causes muscle fatigue and soreness. Research published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that sodium bicarbonate supplementation improved performance in high-intensity activities and reduced recovery time. "At 71, I never thought I'd enjoy exercise again," shared Patricia from California. "The day after pain was just too much. Since starting with baking soda before my water aerobics class, I recover so much faster and can actually participate 3 times a week without constant soreness." For exercise support, mix 1–4 teaspoons of baking soda in 16 ounces of water and drink 60–90 minutes before exercise. Start with a smaller amount to assess tolerance, as some people may experience digestive discomfort. 8. Kidney protection that could save your life. Chronic kidney disease affects approximately 37% of Americans over 65, yet many don't know they have it until significant damage has occurred. Protection of kidney function should be a priority for every senior. Baking soda has been shown to slow the progression of kidney disease by reducing acid load on the kidneys. A landmark study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that patients with advanced kidney disease who took sodium bicarbonate were significantly less likely to progress to kidney failure or require dialysis. Gerald, an 81-year-old from Texas with stage 3 kidney disease, followed a medically supervised baking soda protocol. "My doctor was preparing me for eventual dialysis," he explained. 6 months later, my kidney function had stabilized rather than declined. 2 years later, I'm still dialysis-free. For kidney support, this should only be done under a doctor's supervision if you have kidney disease. The typical protocol is 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda daily in water, but dosage should be determined by your healthcare provider based on your specific condition. 9. Arthritis pain relief without side effects. Arthritis affects over 50% of Americans over 65, making it one of the most common challenges of aging. Conventional treatments like NSAIDs can cause stomach bleeding, increase heart attack risk, and damage kidneys with long-term use. Baking soda has been shown to reduce inflammation throughout the body. A groundbreaking 2018 study in the Journal of Immunology found that drinking a solution of baking soda and water reduces the inflammatory response in multiple tissues and organs. The researchers discovered that baking soda signals the mesothelial cells in your stomach to tell your body to reduce inflammation, essentially turning down your immune system's attack on your joints. After 30 years of rheumatoid arthritis, I'd tried everything, said Margaret from New York. The pain in my hands was so bad I couldn't knit anymore, my favorite hobby. Within 3 weeks of taking baking soda daily, the swelling visibly decreased. After 2 months, I could knit again for the first time in years. My rheumatologist was stunned. For arthritis support, mix 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink twice daily, preferably on an empty stomach. Results typically begin to appear after 2 to 3 weeks of consistent use. 10. Gout management without expensive medications. Gout, a particularly painful form of arthritis caused by uric acid crystal buildup, affects over 8 million Americans, with seniors being at highest risk. Conventional medications can be expensive and come with significant side effects. Baking soda helps by alkalizing the blood, which makes uric acid more soluble and less likely to form painful crystals in the joints. Research published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatism found that alkalizing agents like sodium bicarbonate can help dissolve uric acid crystals and promote their excretion through urine. During a gout flare-up, the pain is unbearable, described Richard from Florida. When I started using baking soda at the first sign of an attack, the duration and intensity decreased dramatically. What used to keep me in bed for days now resolves in about 24 hours. For gout support, during an active flare, mix 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in 8 ounces of water and drink up to 4 times daily for 1 to 2 days. For maintenance, 1/4 teaspoon once daily can help prevent recurrences. Always work with your doctor, especially if you're on other medications. 11. Cold and flu symptom relief. That really works. Respiratory infections are not just uncomfortable, they can be dangerous for seniors. While baking soda can't cure a viral infection, it can provide significant relief from symptoms and potentially reduce the duration of illness. Baking soda helps break up mucus secretions, soothes sore throats, and reduces the acidity that viruses and bacteria thrive in. A study in the Journal of the American Dental Association found that regular gargling with sodium bicarbonate solution reduced throat irritation and bacterial load, supporting faster recovery from upper respiratory infections. Last winter's flu had me miserable, recalled Susan from Maine. The constant post-nasal drip and sore throat were unbearable. Gargling with warm baking soda water gave me more relief than any over-the-counter remedy I tried. I could actually sleep at night. For cold and flu relief, for a sore throat, gargle with a solution of 1/2 teaspoon baking soda in 8 ounces of warm water several times daily. For nasal congestion, you can also use baking soda in a saline nasal rinse to help break up mucus. 12. Cancer treatment support based on emerging research. While baking soda is not a cancer treatment on its own, emerging research suggests it may have a role in supporting conventional cancer therapies. This is one of the most cutting-edge areas of baking soda research. Cancer cells thrive in acidic environments and can become resistant to treatments in these conditions. Studies, including one published in Cancer Research, have found that sodium bicarbonate can help neutralize the acidic tumor microenvironment, potentially making cancer cells more vulnerable to conventional treatments. During my chemotherapy for breast cancer, my oncologist actually recommended baking soda, shared Dorothy from Illinois. He explained that it might help the treatment work better. I can't say for sure if it made a difference, but I tolerated the treatments better than many others in my support group. Important note: this should only be explored under the guidance of your oncologist as part of a comprehensive treatment plan. Never use baking soda as a replacement for a conventional cancer treatment. 13. Natural deodorant that actually works. Commercial deodorants often contain aluminum compounds, parabens, and artificial fragrances that can irritate sensitive skin and may have concerning health effects with long-term use. As we age, our skin becomes more sensitive and vulnerable to irritation. Baking soda naturally neutralizes odor-causing acids in sweat and absorbs moisture. A study in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology found that sodium bicarbonate significantly reduced underarm odor when applied topically. After developing a rash from commercial deodorants, I was desperate for an alternative, said Howard from Washington. Baking soda not only stopped the irritation, but actually worked better at preventing odor throughout the day. It's been 5 years now, and I'll never go back to commercial products. For natural deodorant, lightly dust baking soda under your arms, either alone or mixed with a small amount of coconut oil for added moisture. For sensitive skin, dilute with cornstarch, 50-50 mix. Safety first. Who should be careful with baking soda? While baking soda is remarkably beneficial for most seniors, there are important precautions to be aware of. Your safety is my priority, so please read this section carefully. You should not use internal baking soda remedies without medical supervision if you have high blood pressure or are on blood pressure medications. Baking soda contains sodium, you have severe kidney disease, you take medications that might interact with sodium bicarbonate, including certain heart medications, diuretics, or aspirin. You have edema, heart failure, or other conditions where sodium restriction is advised. You have COPD or other respiratory conditions that affect your body's natural acid-base balance. Even if none of these apply to you, start with smaller amounts than recommended to test your body's response and never exceed the suggested dosages. Remember that natural doesn't automatically mean safe for everyone in every situation. How Dorothy reclaimed her golden years. A true story of transformation. I'd like to tell you about Dorothy, a 79-year-old retired school teacher from Michigan whose story exemplifies the life-changing potential of these simple remedies. When Dorothy first came to see me, she was taking 12 different medications. She suffered from painful arthritis, chronic heartburn, recurrent UTIs, and had so little energy she could barely leave her home. "I'm just waiting to die," she told me tearfully. "This isn't living." We started her on a gentle baking soda protocol, carefully coordinated with her primary physician to ensure safety with her medications. We began with the heartburn remedy, which gave her immediate relief. Next, we added the anti-inflammatory protocol for her arthritis. 6 weeks later, Dorothy walked into my office without her cane. "I can't believe the difference," she said, her eyes bright with excitement. "The burning in my stomach is gone completely. The pain in my knees has decreased so much that I've started walking around the block every morning, and I haven't had a UTI in a month." 3 months later, working with her primary doctor, Dorothy had safely eliminated 4 of her prescriptions. The transformation wasn't just physical. The spark had returned to her eyes. She was living again, not just existing. "Last weekend, I took my great-grandchildren to the park," she told me, showing me pictures on her phone. "I pushed them on the swings. I never thought I'd be able to do that again." Dorothy's story isn't unusual. I've seen hundreds of seniors experience similar transformations when they discover the healing power of this simple remedy that's been hiding in plain sight. Why this information is hidden from most seniors in America. You might be wondering, if baking soda is so beneficial, why don't more doctors recommend it? Why isn't this common knowledge among the 52 million seniors in America? The answer, unfortunately, comes down to economics and medical education. There's no profit in promoting a remedy that costs pennies per dose and cannot be patented. The average arthritis medication brings pharmaceutical companies over $20,500 per patient per year. Baking soda costs about $3 for a box that lasts months. Additionally, most medical schools provide less than 25 hours of nutrition and natural medicine education across 4 years of training. Doctors simply aren't taught about these simple, effective interventions. Instead, they're trained to prescribe medications. I've dedicated my career to bridging this gap, bringing together the best of conventional medicine with time-tested natural remedies that work. My patients deserve nothing less than all available options for healing. Your next steps, starting your healing journey today. If you're inspired to try these baking soda remedies, here's how to begin safely. Start with one application that addresses your most pressing concern. Use the lowest recommended dose initially to assess your tolerance. Be consistent. Natural remedies often work gradually and build effectiveness over time. Keep track of your results in a simple journal. After 2 to 3 weeks, evaluate your progress and consider adding another application if needed. Remember that healing is a journey, not an overnight transformation. Give your body time to respond to these gentle interventions. I'd love to hear from you about your experience with these remedies. Where are you from, and which health challenges are you most concerned about? Your comments not only help me provide better guidance, but may also inspire others who are facing similar struggles. American seniors deserve to enjoy their golden years with vitality, comfort, and joy, not struggling with pain, side effects, and medical bills. Sometimes the path back to that vibrant life is simpler than you've been led to believe, and it might be sitting right there in your kitchen cabinet. This information is educational in nature and not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Always consult with your healthcare provider before starting any new health regimen, particularly if you have existing health conditions or are taking medications.